Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, welcome to class today. And our user rule says that if you have a question, raise up your hand. And if you have a question, okay, if you have something to say at the end, your question, you can drop it in the chat, but if there is a question, fine. Today, we are going into product validation and user pain point. So we've gone through the customer experience, gone through about the product experience, control with the product life cycle, and it's time to know if this product is what the customer really wants. Is this product profitable for the business? So, but before we go straight into product validation, let's get to know more about the user pain point. User pain point is also how we've spoken about before about customer problem. And this is just to iterate that the customer problem is quite more important than when making a product. So even if it's a product feature you are creating, you want to be sure that your customer is okay with every aspect of it. So what is user pain point? What is user pain point? So user pain point at customer problem, as we know, but they are more into it. They're not just about the buying, the purchasing power, the purchasing influencing or behavior of a customer. They are the reason why a customer will be patient with you or will just move on with your product. So if I mentioned about the customer experience, then also the customer journey, whereby it's been said that this is being reset each time the customer comes again in contact with your product or your organization. So this is to say, if I had a wonderful journey with you at the first transaction, if I have a customer a good journey with you at the first business transaction, the next time I'm coming back again, and you give me a bad experience, there's more probability I'll come back to your business, or I come in contact with your process and it wasn't suiting to me. The probability that I'll be taken out for a competitor with better benefits, better customer experience, product experience to help my customer journey. And one of the reasons why customer goes by or go away from a product because they are looking how to put in their money wisely, their time wisely, and to trust a brand. So if you're wasting my time, it's not productive, there's no reason why I should come into your business. If my money is not well used, like quality or quantity is not what I needed, then there's no need coming back. And if also as part of money, if you're not transparent with what you are giving to me, so there are a lot of businesses where customer complains about, I wasn't told about this. I didn't know this cost will be involved. You should have told me from the beginning. So everybody just want to know they're not being cheated. So prepare my mind to know this is what I should be experiencing. This is what I will get. So by going through your process or purchasing process, I want to know that at the end of at the checkout point or at the end of the transaction, I want to be sure that this is the amount I am paying. A little increase in it or whatsoever will affect where I would. So that means if I'll be okay with you or I want another person to do the transaction. So what is the pain points? A user pain point are customer problem. User pain point are problems that a customer may experience in the marketplace or along the customer journey. A pain point may be specific problem and might be diverse. So it might be something that is glaring while you're doing your computer analysis or check before a product is being launched. It might be glaring that, oh, the reason why I want to include financing because that company is not doing financing and I as a customer want financing, or I've spoken to friends or within my cycle and they were open if they could do financing. That could be your innovation, that could be your idea to create another product. But at the same time, there might be more pain points you are not seeing. So everybody is saying, what if there's solution come in the point whereby I can pause my solution I'm traveling and doesn't have to run away when I'm not traveling. At least give me a little bit of understanding or a little bit of benefit when I'm away and no one's watching my TV and my TV is not on. So can I just pause my solution? So if you're creating an idea or a company based on this idea, there might also be other pain points you're not seeing that might be hidden. And one best way to understand pain point is giving more relevance to customer feedback. Measure that in customer experience, but also customer user interview. So understanding the user pain point helps to stay ahead of competitors, helps you to stay in market, helps to help the products. I keep saying product lifecycle management. That means how long the product stays on shelf. That means how long the product will remain. And for every product feature you create, you need to put your shoe in, you put yourself in the customer's shoe. You need to understand that the customer is the major person, is the most important thing. So if there is nobody to buy, there is no reason for that product. And that is why all this determines the product validation, determine if the product can be validated, if the product plan can go ahead, and you can, and product requirements can be complete or not. Product requirement documents can be complete or not, and they are quite important. So there are major areas for a point, which areas of finding the pain point, which is number one is to find the main problem, customer main problem. Like I said, they might be specific, it might be something that is glaring to the eye, glaring, it might be something everybody is seeing and the company cannot find solution, or they are turning deaf ears to it. And that's why listening to your customer is important. Listening to your customer is important. Interacting with them is important. Keeping a feedback open is important. Even as engineers or technologists, we understand the importance of feedback in a system. So when you put in an information and you're not getting a feedback, then you're not sure if that system is effective or not. Feedback helps you to modify a system, helps you to improve a system. So but at the point of product launch and product growth, you just want to be sure that this product is worth the while. The most painful thing is being on a team where the product was dead on arrival, or the product was never to be born. You could hear this among engineers or among the engineering team. So engineering team now are developers or product team saying that product, I don't know give a go at it because that product was meant to be dead on arrival. That product had no market yet, or the market was dead. So I don't even know why it was pushed forward. So understanding the customer main point makes you understand exactly if this product is validated, this product is needed. So I've gone ahead. And by the time you understand the customer main problem, by the time your product is coming out, your product is on shelf, and your product answers questions, every customer will trust you. And not just because your product answers your product answers my problem or answers to my problem. It could be because I could trust your feedback as a company. I could trust your information as a company. How transparent are you? And one major thing technology is doing is not just because we are making peace and comfort out there, it's because we are trying to bring in clarity. We're trying to bring in clarity and transparency. So all those or a lot of information, I don't know where to read, I don't know where to check. We're trying to put that at a glance. So there's just something, click on something and you get that information. Instead of you going through books and saying, oh, I didn't see it this way, I didn't see that information because it was 18 pages, was 26 pages, with a click and at a glance on the website, you could see, you could have this information written to you boldly, and the customer will have the excuse to say, your website, oh, the pages were too much. And that's the reason why, at the point of designing, you want to ensure that the design team are making information concise, short, and clear to customers. So you don't want a situation where I have to press the next to get an information. You can make a feature on your website and go. So how do you earn my trust? The time spent on going through next is well, I could have a good feature on your website and get a directory from there has been lost, and that is not productive to me. And that's going to be my pain point to you. So these are like pain points we'll get later into discussion about that people don't see, but are within the team or within the organization. Also solving the problem. So because my main point, my main problem, or my pain point, you can my trust because you could solve it. But the actual truth is, have you solved it, and can you improve in what you've solved? So moving on this. Moving on this, there are ways of finding the customer main point or pain point. And there are quite a number. And the first one is productivity. One reason why I will come to the website and not go to the store, like the reason why I will go on Jumia or Konga, is not because I can't go to a mall beside my house or down my street. It's just because I want to be productive. So probably I want to open a tab where Jumia is on point. I'm trying to search out for something I need, while doing other things. So instead of me spending that time whereby I have to close down my system and go down to the mall or queue or one thing or the other, I could just have that on the website or on my desk or on my system. So yeah, this way, productivity on my own hand has been done. And here is a category of enterprises of all pain points where the customer wants to be more efficient or wants a more streamlined experience when dealing with your company. Right? They want to feel that time has been subtracted or added to themselves. Okay, so I added more time to what I could use on looking for furnitures. Like go on Jumia or Gigi, look for furnitures, and in as much as I can get an answer to my problem on your website, you've added more value to me. So it's not just about spending my time on your website trying to search for furnitures. It's about getting the furniture I would like or upgrading my likeness for a furniture and getting at the price I want. So that is productivity for me, and that is what I will want to do. So a customer wants to be able to get to your website and get in contact with the organization of products and know that it has added more time to them. And this needs to be considered when implementing features. And also at the buying checkout. So the features are not just about while I'm roaming through your website, also about when I'm checking out. So for like Jumia, let's assume I want to change my shelf. So I went down on Jumia, checked across various sizes of shelves, designs, and shelf designs and all. By the time I get to one thing I want, the fact that the products, the price for the product is being there. The only thing that should be on my mind should be the value added and tax. It shouldn't be any other thing. Or probably logistics, or probably fee for logistics. But when I click on your checkout, I'm seeing things like shipping fees when you're not written on the website that the vehicle will be shipped somewhere or is not in Nigeria. So I'm wondering why shipping fees, or I'm wondering why a shipping fee or a weight fee is different from the logistics fee. Right. So I check out, and that's not productive for me because at that point in time, I also have to drop it down, look for, call a friend or get somebody that could just do what I need and get going. At that point in time, it definitely will not expect me to come back to such platform who I wasted. I spent a lot of time picking or selecting something I would like. At the point of checkout, I wasn't satisfied. Or then so when someone is asking us straight and it's a way across me, one of the things I would say is let's be productive with my time as part of checkout, apart from just your website. So imagine I'm looking for furniture on your website and I'm seeing other things coming up when you could make a drop down for me to check for office, home furniture, office furniture, or whatsoever. And at that point, I have more of my play point in it. So, and this is recheck. This means so by the time you are managing a product as a product manager, all this needs to be in point. And this helps you to create your assumption mapping. This helps you to understand your user story. Helps you manage your team better. At the same time, this validate the product and work on every other document and requirements in it as we go by. So under other productivity points, we have other areas that are quite important. So optimizing productivity or optimization. So how can your product help your customers for their time efficiency? I've explained that. So and most of the customer want to exercise on wanting a better use of your time. How how better it is when a customer or employee interrupts from their work to take time off your website or off your product or to make use of your product or to experience your product. So you want to create something that is optimizable to this customer that could appeal to your customer time. The next one is comfort and ease or comfort and convenience. So you want to increase comfort for your customer. Sometimes innovation, I've talked about innovation on mobile products. Some of them are built up of existing products. They are built up on innovations. They may be built up from your pain points as a customer yourself. So because you experienced a company and you had a very slow pay, you are left with a slow page. You could say, okay, why not do this better and make a better product and create a better product for the company. So the more positive and the experience of the customer has to your product, or the more he they come with, the more convenient it is. Customers will even buy convenience than less price. So if a company is cheaper and I have to wait for 2 to 3 months to get my products, okay, let's use the Unga Black Friday on November. So let them at November and the rest, or you're spending the black market day or Black Fridays or the black seasons, and you got a product cheaply. And you have to call up to the customer or the company to say, oh, please not about my product, where's my product, this and that. You want to spend your money in a place where you can get your product on time. Forget about how cheap it was or slash of discount it was. You're more concerned about the fact that you have a product sitting in your apartment or being used for what you want than not knowing the SLA or the stated time for a product to get to you. So customers will want convenience, and convenience could be mental convenience. Today, trying to talk about mental health. Mental health could be from worrying about a product not being useful to them, worrying about a product not answering to the need they were sold or they were told it would. It would be time frame to get that product. So if you are mentally stressing me, it's best for me to take a walk from your company. And so for you, before you could validate a product, you want to understand if it increases comfort or convenience. Does it make your customer happy and comfortable with what they are doing using your product or experiencing your product? So because a business will fail if customer productivity pinpoint is not top focus for them. Because because for every services and product you offer, customer will switch things or move from one branch to another just because of this. They are not things that are glaring. They are not things that are open. They're not things that they are they are out there. They are things that the company's experience, and without being in contact with your customer or having a feedback from them, you're not getting no it. It could also be as small as form filling. So a friend sent me a website and said, check on it. And I told him, you are telling me if I don't like form, if I hate form, I should send you a chat. And I can't find the chat app icon. It was down the website. This thing is besides that it should be my first option before the form. Right. So even though Google have helped us with define the way we fill form, because they have a form data saved somewhere, but on auto fill form. At the same time, some people just discuss them, and the more the form is, so that I'm applying for loan, you're telling me you utilize so many things. You're asking me to fill some details like twice or thrice. You just confirm that would be a little bit irritating to somebody, would be a little bit disturbing. So I've seen people, we all know customers or people who leave applications or job interviews, applications halfway because the questions are just too much. You're asking to put 200 points forward. When I could get a barrier to get a job or something. It could be as simple as a form. Very simple as a form. And so for every time you are creating a product feature, you just want to know what areas can you create ease for your customer? What areas can you create productivity for your customer? And every other one. The next is support pain point. So we talked about checkout point, where I want a product to be, I want to know about the product at the point of checkout time and more. So this is more positive experience because a customer has with your product, the more they will want to use it or buy. Customer with productivity points are happy with comfort. That's comfort and keys. For support point, customer needs and keys with finding answers, right? For example, when I said I'm looking for furniture in your company and I have to go through next, when you can make that a product feature and it drop down for me. Just check office furnitures, home furnitures, and also other furnitures. Product will be broke down. And one thing that PMs we know is at the point of launching or at the beginning or introduction phase, most times is not, we don't even know the definition of products. Like I spoke about auto check at the beginning of vehicles. At the beginning of vehicles, they all your thought, okay, we're selling vehicles. There was no need for foreign use vehicles being different from locally used vehicles or brand new vehicles different from trucks or commercial vehicles. Well, the product begin to grow, the need for these features were created or were seen, right? It should be to be constant in the complete blind spots if they're not feeling this feedback. So I want to get a Nigerian used vehicle. I'm going to the website. I'm just seeing brand new cars with a whole lot of prices, foreign used vehicle, when all I need is locally used vehicle. I want a fair and local used vehicle at my budget. So if you experience GG or you experience auto check at the website, so let's use GG more. So for GG, you go on GG, you can filter Mercedes-Benz, you can filter color preference you need, you can filter even mileage preference you want, you can filter price or budget, and you can filter if you want locally used vehicle or foreign used vehicle. And because they understood the pain point of customer, they went a little bit further to create soft product features, such as you can even filter if you want fault body or if you want no repair at all. So by the time you filter this, you'll be getting products tailored to what you need. right? So customer will want, so with that, I can always go on Digi knowing that, okay, fully whether yes. If I want blue cards, I can filter 2 blue cards and I'll get other blue cards. I'll get a variety of blue cards, or I'll get as many as they have on the website. So it's to be able to check through, right? And if I want any colors, I can always go in, and that will answer my question. That will make it easy. I don't need to pick up my call, go through um guitar stories from customer units before I get somebody to pick up the call. Also have them, oh, do you have a vehicle that is blue in color, false body, that means that have been painted before, and the AC gear transmission system, everything is okay. Please link me up to somebody. It also saves time at the end of the customer at the point of business, because customer service agent or someone instead of going through looking for this car to get somebody, you are able to solve other problems that cannot be answered on your website. It's understandable that you can't answer all these questions on your website or on your product features, but like features that have been created subsequently answers this question or this pinpoint and problems. Okay. So for example, if a customer can find an answer to his need for the website or a timely response from the customer support team, they did go elsewhere. So at the point of validating your product, you want to be sure this has been done. The next one will be the financial point. So the next point will be the financial point. And so I talk about checkouts. I'll talk about making a product from yesterday because I want to post. So at the time people want to type a product, whatever I take to save program. I'm not available, I want to save that program so I can work with that. I know right now, yes, we have that feature whereby you can now save your program and watch to binge watch later on. Right. So but if we're saying, okay, let me save my subscription, let me save the subscription so that at least wherever I stopped watching will be what I will stop when I come back from a long travel without the system still being used. So financial expense points uh financial pain points are areas where prospective customers are spending too much money. So these are areas whereby customers are spending their money because they don't have an option. We give them an option to change this. So these are problems that involves money, and customer would like to or be glad to cut back on. And they could be as lack of transparency. So like I said before, like if I'm buying something from Jumia, I want to know the price of the product I am buying. I want to prepare about what I will make at my checkout point. So if at checkout point I'm seeing value added tax, okay, fine. I'm seeing I could choose to pick up from the experience or choose to bring to my doorstep. Or if I'm getting things like, and okay, from the website, I'm not saying that this is um a global store, but this is not in Nigeria or somewhere, and you're asking me for shipping fees. I'll be wondering where did this cost come from? Or at the point of checkouts, I'm seeing things like product has changed. So I think I had an experience with Jumia where I paid for a product and at point of delivering, and that product was sent to me. Although while I was checking on the tracker, I realized that the product price has increased with like this 10 to 15,000 naira. And in my head, on thought of thoughts, I was like, oh, praise God, I bought this product 2 days before the increase happened. Even at the point where I bought the product had increased before then. So it wasn't the price I even saw I had in mind. I bought it later on. So when I saw that it skyrocketed again, I like, praise God, I bought this product. My part of delivery, I was not even told that because the price has changed or whatsoever, I can't have that product I had desired for. I was just brought in. I just came back from work and I saw a product. I'm like, what is this? And my sister is telling me, oh, that was the product. That's feedback. That's the pain point to me because even though your product has changed, let me have that information. Give me the ability to choose if I'll go ahead with transaction or not. Right. So that could be a point you need to understand because transparency wasn't there for me. I can understand it's not, it could be that the company will be selling that product to me at profits. It could be at the point of listing or change of price. Probably they had someone change all this price to 7,000 naira and say it's changing it to 47,000 naira or thereabout. There could be a mistake from an agent or whatsoever, but give me your customer a clarity or a transparent information on this. If value or market value of this has gone high, will you like a refund or will you like other products? And give me other products I could want. I could feel bad, I could feel pained because probably I got the product because of the design or because some some product features or features I saw on it. Along the run though, I checked through the manual, checked through the description, checked through the one I fit, and I realized that they're the same thing. The only thing that is different is the design of the product. So even though in my head I already had how I want to use the product based on the design features I saw, but I realized the same capacity is what I'm buying or what they gave to me. So I asked them to let go of refunds. I would like to keep the product. But for a customer like me, later on kept the product, an email, a phone call that solve this issue. I won't have to go through calling them and ranting and telling them why is the product different from what I ordered, right? So lack of transparency on the final price, like, and I could had from the experience with Jumia, I could have lack of transparency at delivering point. So check out added fees, dramatic change in price, expensive sufficient plans, and probably low quality of products that need to be replaced frequently. If you keep spending money on a water bottle that keep getting busted if then the water is slightly warm or something, you don't want to buy that product again. You want to go for something that is more durable and something that can handle hotness. In fact, because you bought a water bottle that gets busted or deformed each time water is slightly warm, you want to get something that can hold hot water, no matter how many degrees Celsius the water is. The next one is going to be a process point. So this is areas where your business is creating friction or pay point to the buyers through technical issues or suboptimal processes. And this process could be easy to identify if you could work with the team. And sometimes not because somebody is a bad egg in the organization, it could be because somebody's having issue with the future or a future is needed to be created. So at the beginning of the class, not today, I made mention about auto check and CRM, right? So creating a CRM for the business, which is for internal users, right? There were needs to differentiate the finance clients from the direct buy clients, and there were need to differentiate them from the commercial vehicles, which are trucks or large buses, because information on cars or on cars and SUVs are so different from buses and trucks, most especially trucks, right? So if a customer calls in to say, I'm having a support pain point from you, which is also having a financial inclusion on me because I'm spending more money talking to customer support. I'm being kept on hold. I'm being kept on I'm being kept on hold. The website is not even giving me a productive answer or answering to my productive pay point because I can't even find the truck I want. I can't find details I need about the truck. And the support team is not helping out because the agent that picked my call does not even have an idea or detailed idea on truck, right? And because the CRM does not differentiate customers, then that is going to be a process pain point for the team and for the customer at large. But by the time you're able to create features whereby these are being filtered, so a a truck customer is going into the truck columns, and at the time at the back end with the CRM, if you check, if you see, if you see, if you see this person, this client is a truck or a commercial vehicle client, somebody experienced a commercial vehicle pick up, under the transaction, and be able to convert into sales. So process pain points are areas where your business is creating friction and technical issues. You want to answer the question, what can be done? What can we do to keep customers waiting for us to make these products able, usable, feasible to customer, and to make sure buying process is, like I said at each time for each classes, I keep saying the main reason why we are creating products is to make profits. That's just the simple shortcut. That's the pillar of vision. With design vision, just to make profits. Everything you do, make profit. So why, and the reason why you stay in market, the reason why you stay in market, the reason why you stay in market is because you are answering to the needs. You are answering to the needs of a customer. Please give me a few minutes. Okay. So you want to work on technicability, you want to work with the architecture process of your product being made. Yeah, this can be, and so for you to be able to answer the point, for you to be able to identify the point and get people is by consent, making consent marketing information. So last class I talked about financing and said a customer that will accept financing needs to, if a salary earner needs to him at least 250,000 based on the government policy that said that 3% of a salary earner should be used to service loan. That is that whenever you earn over 3 or 33% is how you can use to access loan, because government wants to be sure that this person can answer to every other need that comes to their family or comes to their personal space and life. So if 30% of going by the government policy, last class we talked about PESTLE, PEST2, and SWOT. So PEST2 is this. So now at this point in time, the political or government policy is affecting both business and the customer. The customer will tell you, forget about that, I don't mind, it's not only salary I'm earning. Also, I also have some side runs outside business that provide money for me. But in as much as you can't trace that, that means they don't have a verified PAC or business registered. That makes it. So if tomorrow it means flagged, government policies or community authorities will want to understand why you overlook the policy. And what if tomorrow the customer will not pay you back and become illegal case? Then and that's when policies start flying up and down. Oh, you knew at this point in time that this customer will not pay back based on this policy that has been given and all. So like I said, so it's going to be funny if a marketing ad or advert out there is saying, oh, bring 150,000 naira, come and collect that. Or if you're a salary earner, just a salary earner, come and collect that. So someone that hits 70,000 naira or 50,000 naira will start hoping that, okay, if I can get this car for Uber, it's not even eligible for the transaction in the first place. So customer will be better if your marketing ads will answer their questions. So I'm seeing buy a car, keys, take loan. You don't have to pay now. You can pay later. Or what? And I'm saying, okay, I'm asking, okay, what is the next thing? What do I need? So either your marketing, your Harvard leads me to your website that will give me more information, or I can get that information from a Google. Either I decide to be a customer or I keep it going. So we're like, okay, for people that don't have this requirement of extra business or salary, and definitely will not get it. For a product like Move does well financing for Uber drivers. So that means if you've been on the Uber hub as a driver for like 6 to 1 year, you can get financing from Move. And that is the mindset of a lot of people have. A lot of drivers hire cars to run on Uber, and it's not financially because they have some turnover to so you know the vehicles that might not be okay for the drivers. So instead of me having a driver being hyped, irritated, or not giving the necessary business customer experience I need to my customers. I could make some solution to their problem. Okay, you don't have a car, but you've been on my app for the past 6 months, you are okay and you have a wonderful ride. Take this, take this driver app or driver ID, send to Move, right? So a brand like AutoCheck is just saying Uber driver, just saying Uber driver. So your marketing information needs to be concise and need to answer the customer and help the customer. In offer clarity and transparency, the customer journey should be seamless with useful information in an issue with changes, a customer-centric story being made to clarify doubt. Like I said about Jumia's schedule, because of the market side, I was not informed or you give me the code like that, right? But a lot of emotions would have run through me, such as these people taking me for a fool, they think I'm blind. No, a lot of high emotions could have been a lot of high emotions could have gone through me. They think I'm that. They think I don't know what I am doing. They think they think I don't know what I'm doing. They think I don't know. I didn't know about a product I chose or whatever, right? And and so like I said about Juma experience, so a lot of high emotions have gone through me. They think I'm deaf, they think I'm blind, but they take me for what is all these and everything. It's not because I don't know that the price I paid for have been changed on the website. I could feel at the same time that what are they even thinking of? Just 2 days ago, before I even got to pay for this product, this price was changed. Why are they playing? Why are they playing with these transactions? Why are they playing with my transaction? Why just change the price as they want? Can you just get a normal price and move? So offering clarity and transparency is important. It's not customer journey. And remember, last class, someone mentioned that are you saying a customer journey is a cycle? And I said yes, it's a cycle. At the same time, it's something that gets reset. So that I bought a product or I got a service from you and I enjoyed it. And I'm coming back to you and you are giving me something back. You will definitely lose me as a customer. They mentioned about tailors who give you the best clothes and best material, experience at the first step. Right? Just who are your friends. And at the point of the second time you're coming over to them and giving them a style, it's how we tell us to say, oh, this style is not suitable for your body frame. For your body frame, your body frame. So I as a customer can know, okay, this product is not suitable for my body frame. I can make a choice of another thing. And if I say, oh, yeah, this is what I want. So are you telling me you're not pretty enough to say, madam, taking this form, feeling, let me an argument that no matter how the product comes out to, or the style comes out to, or the design comes out, you understand that I've given you my advice at first time. A customer could have a recheck or rethought or go ahead with it. But you're not even advising the customer based on this, or you don't even understand the styles or probably the intricacy of some designs that are meant to be made, and you just went ahead, make the rubbish, and customer would definitely not come back to you. It won't be for you to say, I can't make a design for you, because I don't even know how this is being done, than for you to just leave the customer alone on that. So also so now with all this pay point and everything, to gain trust, to find the problem, solving the problem, even though you told the customer you have solved the problem, within the with user interview or with feedback reporting, you want to go back to your team and ask yourself this sincere question. Have we solved the question? Have we solved the problem, or we are facing the customer? Which one are we doing? So are we just giving the customer a time, or where are we solve your problem? Can do it. We can get this done, or actually solve this problem completely. And the experience a customer or user will use with you will determine essentially how they will stay with you. Determine if the document, if this will be made. Now with with understanding the pain point of a customer, understanding the customer problem, understanding it in productivity and support and the rest, then you can create your assumption mapping. And with this, you know which aspects of the products can be validated, or which aspect of the products, which aspect of the product can be validated, or which aspect of the product needs to be done, or just to let go. So talk about happen. Most time, yes, last class we also talked about goal. So a particular goal when we're talking about product vision. They didn't know the end goal where you're coming in your product, but sometimes because the market, it's not time for the market, or there's no market for it at that point in time. You're seeing a feature enhancement, but because customer will not awaken to it, you can decide to bring it in phases. right? So when Apple, when the iPhone was made, Steve Jobs already knows what we needed, already knows how we needed it, or so that one day people will need high quality of camera and the rest. But at that point in time, at the point of a session, people are still doubting how telecommunications will work, still doubting how messaging will work, right? Mark Zuckerberg knew that at a point in time, the world will become a global village. But at the point he started Facebook, people are still wondering, how do you think I'll message somebody in Nigeria from Canada, right? So he created it in feature, introduced to them little by little, and had the world begin to accept, the world begin to understand this and begin to aim for something better. Then the more they created more features and introduced more features to it. Because you gathered information from a customer, before we go to assumption mapping, because you gather information from the customer, you understand what the customer needs and what the customer wanted. You can now create an assumption mapping. So, and you've gotten the feedback from the customer, so now you can then know what you want. The other So there are many ways of getting customer feedback from them. I'm dropping some in class or on the channel later on. So like interviews, we will come across probably somebody just asking throwing a question to you. Then as a female, how will you like your office wear look like? And you then go on, okay, I would like my office wear be better than this. Or someone send you a product and say, review this product for me. How this product feels to you? What do you think can be done? Or somebody sends you, as all managers, people will always send you their website to check. I said, explain my website for me as a user. Tell me what you think I could upgrade, remove, add, or just criticize it for me. As we done an assignment with Kodecamp website, right? So interviews are one, and that one is survey. Survey are just written interviews. So you want to put out survey out there. Let's assume we're doing a survey on Kodecamp. So we're asking students, how do you want to experience Kodecamp? What are the better things about Kodecamp? Putting in Kodecamp with Coursera, Udemy, and every other one out there. Why do you choose Kodecamp before this? What are better things you think Kodecamp can do to make it user experience better? Will you be able to tell people about Kodecamp? And if you're going to tell them, what are you going to tell them about Kodecamp and the rest? So with these feedbacks, you could create your assumption mapping, right? At some time, we have some focus groups. Like I said, that it could be just be taking. So you can have some focus group, like if you create a WhatsApp group, a group of 10 people from your friends or cycle, and make them experience your products. So during marketing period, when we're talking about some product launching and everything, talk about first users, whereby you give brand influencers your product to feel them to review about it. But this could be people that you create your product alongside. They are like, let's use the word internal purpose or in the inner cycle. That we are creating a product, they're launching a product soon, but you want them to experience the bottle. So that could be, oh, but my product is not physical. My product is a software, a services. Yes, and send them this to be able to get your product. And this focus group understand, they'll give you opinion, they give you perception, they give you attitude towards your services or what they feel about it. And you with them, you can get unbiased data. You can get a data that is not assumptive. You can get data beyond your fictional characters. You get, because they've experienced this first. They are the first users. They are in a group. They are together. They understand what the product is all about. So you can also create some customer advisory boards, which are people that are who share observations or insights with your company. Some of them. So this is even why your product is growing, right? They are so for the banking industry, they have what they call mystery shoppers. Mystery shoppers are people that comes around to the bank or to a branch just to experience the branch and have a customer experience from them. And have a customer experience with them. Mystery shoppers, though people see mystery shoppers are people who comes up to get to get the bad thing about someone, but actually they came to experience the product, to experience the customer experience from the banking industry. So you could have customers that are well exposed, and you want to see how well they can do. They come from time to time as different phases of a business or different phases of the product to give you a better feedback. These are people that are more informed, that are people that are more exposed, and they could help you to prioritize what next to build, right? You can also get this from virtual research sessions. You could also get it from public spaces on Twitter, spaces on on Clubhouse. So whereby you have a session with people and you get feedback from people. People will tell you what they think customers should have and everything. So you can also have in-app community feedback. There are in-app on you can create community feedback on blogs, on Facebook, and give people ability to engage with you online. Also, an automated chatbot will also be a way to get your feedback from and everything. So we have other ways of getting customer feedback, but the more wider one, the more used one is the survey or the physical customer service one. So moving on to absorption mapping. So now I have the pain point from the customer. I know what the customer pain point is to validate the product. I know that with what I feel and I've known, I've taken from data I've gotten from my feedback, resources, from customer experience or people experiencing a product. I look quite well that the product I am creating answers. I look quite well that the product I'm creating answers to the needs of my customers, and this product is going to be profitable. So, like I keep saying, the underlying business vision for any product is to make profits. Ask any CEO. Apart from, we could give the front story of saying, oh, I saw this problem that I'm answering, I'm giving back to the community, I'm giving back to humanity, I'm giving back to this, I'm giving back to that. But the underlying vision, the goal, the push, the motivation is to make profits. And for salary earners, the motivation and passion, apart from you love your job, you love what you do, you love the process, you love the experience, exposure, or the rest. The back motivation is the fact that money comes into your accounts. And the discussion. So you want to make sure that the product you are creating will bring money. And at the same time, you need to understand that the front vision is that there's somebody to buy your product. So the customer is the powerhouse, is the most important person. So you're getting this and you're getting an assumption mapping, which is the practice of identifying the risky assumption being made about any product or service or about an existing product or service. So it is a way to inform, to make a better information on the product. And this can be done by understanding the desirability factor, the feasibility factor, and the viability factor for the product. So there are some questions you want to ask to know if this product you are creating, this product that is going to be pushed out, or the product feature that is going to push out will help the will help the will help the will help the product you are validating. It's going to be, is it something that it's important? Is the product, is it necessary? Is the product something that will bring in profit and something that can become a unicorn, a well organization, something that people can relate with. So on that assumption, we have the desirability, feasibility, and viability. I think viability comes before feasibility. Viability comes first, then viability second, feasibility is third. And here is it. So do they desire it? Are we feasible? Can we be feasible? Should we be viable? Should we go? And should this be our win or everywhere? So coming back to desirability assumption, this is the focus on the problem and the customer interface with the product. So so just let's go with the layman word of desire. Desire something, like a layman would say, people eat with the eye. So I'm coming in contact with your brand. Is it looking like something I would like color? So I'm looking for food, and you put in red. It send something to my head. Color is the first color. Red color is the first color a child sees because of blood at time of death. And so by the time I'm seeing red, it's giving me that it's going back to my memories. Like the brain will relax, we have it immediately. And then I'm seeing red and it's giving me a whole lot of feelings which I could interpret as hunger. Right. And if you check, that's no reason why most seek out or restaurants make use of the red color as part of their color, be it the background, be the main color, at least going to be part of their color. And by the time, because we use palm oil and everything, and it come out with that color, so I already have an idea of what I am doing. Because of that, I'll desire food. I'll desire that that so I'll desire that product and more. So that's the first thing you want to know. Let's use the word desire. We want to make sure that the brand or the website is desirable, colors desirable. So let's talk about your branding. So at the point of launch, and we have the design team who does your branding and everything. So you want to know that, okay, if what are you giving back to the customer? Are they experiencing it? Are they designing your product? And because of this, so you want to ask a question with your product. What are the customer problems? Some customer problem is not even productivity, support, or the likes. Some customer problem is that it's not fine. So is your product fine? Is the branding fine? And the design, is this a point whereby the product manager work with the design team to ensure that the product is desirable? That's first. So apart from technical issues or technicalities of product answering to a customer, product answering to something, they want to know if they can relate or they can brag on your product. So, and this is the point where a PM or a product manager work in hand with the design team, make sure that I'm working on the marketing team, make sure that everything is in tune and in place for the customer. So apart from the designing aspect or the desirability aspect, you want to know if okay, so the first one is what are customer problem? They like it, they do not like it, fine. That's one side. And that one is they can see all the product. Okay, they have this product problem, this is their pain point, but they can't solve it. So they can't solve it. Why? Why can't the customer solve his problem itself? Maybe customer is saying it's hard for me to run through your website or to go through the website. Why can't you just click on next, you get it? So it is the pain point of the customer. Why can't they solve their problem themselves? So if they can't solve their problem themselves, that means there's something you need to do, and you need to determine what are the outcomes the customer, what are the outcomes the customer want. So viability assumption help this aspect for you to know. Then we have the viability assumption. It focuses on the business viability. It answers questions like, can the customer use our products repeatedly? Can we generate revenue from this. So now, from feedback and everything, while you're creating your assumption mapping, you want to understand that customer will be a returning customer. So remember when we talk about growth or life cycle, and we talked about apart from here, we talk about life cycle, talk about administration phase, marketing, more marketing expense, and these shows that have been made. At the growth stage, you want to convert heart to mouth of the word. You want to know that people can brag about your product, can speak about your product, and can talk about your product. So at this point of the ability, you want to know the customer can use your product repeatedly and they'll come back for more. They will send people, they will talk about it to other customers and bring it. And we generate revenue with this product. Like I keep saying, the underlying business mission is to make profits. So no matter what it is, they want to make profit. And you also go back to the business model you have on ground to know that, okay, this business model, can we make, today is in the world of funding, of seeding and creating, can we get stakeholders to buy into us or to give to us more or less than even the customer buying the products. And if one person buy your product, so I think at the point of growth for business PMs, you understand more importantly about conversion rates of your leads or of your website, people experiencing your product than just the volume they buy. So if one person is buying 5 products, that means you are not, even though the person is buying repeatedly or maybe buying as they go, people buy 5 products as they go because they feel like the process was easy, right? But at the end point of using the product, they might not come back to buy more. Another person may buy your product because of the experience they went through, and they come back to buy another one because they felt the experience was good and they have wonderful experience. They keep buying, but they can't tell others about the product. Then that's at that point in time you have a business point you have to check into. So why are you buying from me? I'm not telling your friends to come and buy. People will tell you, I bought from you because it answers some part of my need, but I know my friends' needs are not being answered already. So I have patience. I can be patient with your business. But hey, you're not going to be patient. I don't want somebody shouting on me, where's my money, where's these people? And they like. So the ability assumption helps that answers the question, can we make revenue, which is more important. And we have the feasibility assumption. That is the assumption which reveals the solution to the customer problem by the product. So you already know that the product is good. So product answer the customer problem. I may mention at the beginning of the class, at earlier times in class that okay, so also checking at the vision from Turkey and yes, and they were like, okay, we have dealers we can sell to, we can bring on the website and sell. But I think that they have a good competitor with the GG. GG also comes on board to say, dealer or vehicle dealers, bring up your cars on my website. I don't care about how you make your money. You can just subscribe to my website or do this for free and experience me, then you can subscribe later. So meet your customer and negotiate with them. Sell your car and bring more cars on my website. Keep flooding my website. There are more visits and you get more sales. Dealers are happy, yes. But there's a customer pay point from the aspect of DJ because I come online, I see a car because of good editing, feature editing. It is looking desirable to me because a dealer might tell a lie because they want to sell, right? They are marketers, so they tell you, or they just bring out the good point of a vehicle and leave out the bad side, which might be important to me. So like, or downplay the more important parts just because they want to sell. So now I'm living a distance of, let's assume I'm living Aja, going down to Igondo, that is like part of the world, just to go and check a dealer, can't check a vehicle because I thought that's what I want. I'm getting there, I'm realizing that the color or the body of the car was crashed. I'm wondering, okay, how was it looking fine on the website? Then the probably steering is stiff, the gear is bad or is in bad condition. The AC, the dealer said it's just leaking. I can see this is a compressor issue or I will have to change the whole AC system assemble. And by the time I look into the cost of repair and everything, then the car was just a waste of my productive time, right? So Gigi had that problem, which was a pain point. And Autocheck said, oh, don't worry, I'm going to put in, I'm going to train people, they'll go to the dealer offices and check. They do a 180-degree check on the vehicle. But then they are listing on the website, they're listing with everything you can see. So you're having a picture of the torn parts. You can see from the drop down that the vehicle was torn and the seats were torn, the AC is not working, or the rest. And at the same time, these inspectors can have a decision to say this car is a crap. So the crap is not okay for our website. So and the rest of the dealers are not happy because they're like, if you're on GG, I don't have this thing. But they are saying I'm creating a solution to the problem. I'm talking about the customer pain point. It may take a while for a dealer to get there, but they'll definitely get there. And I can say for Autocheck, they've gotten there right. But the next pain point to dealer is you have now, because you spend more money or you created a solution to pain point, that means you make more cost, you incurred more cost by paying inspector to inspect my vehicle. So definitely the business will say, dear dealer, for me to be able to sell your vehicle, you have to give me a commission. That to be a pain point for the dealer, right? But the customer had their own answer. So at this point, Autocheck already had an answer for GG, making both products different. But later on, customers will always try to convert their customers, and their dealers will always try to convert their customers and tell them, okay, now you know that the car is good, Daddy. Pay me the money straightly, don't go and pay them, and the rest. So next, to change the product to financing. So if I'm giving customers who want financing, I'm giving you good cars, I'm giving you financing, they have to pay now, they have to pay later. Dealers, at that point in time, dealers will have the choice just to wait. And it's okay. And also for GG, we have issue whereby customs are not even okay, like papers of the cars are not even complete, or the car doesn't even have a paper, and the customer, the dealer will even tell you, if it's your first time buying a vehicle without knowing that you have to have custom papers, they can just give you a fake paper and you go, then you have issues being impounded by your cars and everything. This has been solved by Autocheck with their product innovation and products being sold out or services being given. But with financing, Autocheck, sorry, give me a few minutes. So at this point, you already know that you have a feasibility assumption well, but now you want to go back in and say what is our biggest technical engineering challenges. You want to make sure that the product has answers to all the problems the customer has, and the company or the business or the organization or the product feature can answer to it, right? Coming back to PESTLE, mentioned in class last on Tuesday. So now we have the political policy, government policy, while explaining customer pain point. I talked about the 3% for a government policy that says a salary earner can only take 1/3 of their salary to service a loan, right? So you want to check what are the legal risks, what are the political risks to this, what are the environmental risks, what are the social risks, what are the technical or technological risks, what are the legal risks, and what are the economic risks to this product. So this is where you come in-house to check if the product is okay. You're going to say product team go to the engineering team by technical and engineering challenges or architectural challenges of your product or your website or your feature or your tool. Now they're talking to the business, they're talking to the plot people. Let's understand the legal risks. I'm talking to the legal people. Let's understand the legal risks of it and how to stay safe. Also understanding what are our wins or strengths. So you want to know your SWOT, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, what are your threats. And having this, our strength is more than the weakness. Opportunities are more than the strengths, the threats we have. With this, she places them in colors. Remember this, right? You have disability. So disability can be fitting in red, visibility in blue, variable in green, and placed on a plot. Look at a plot. On the upper place, you have this 90, 180. Can you see my cursor? Okay, this 90. Can you see my cursor? Okay. So this is 90. Okay, great. So this is 90. So at 90, you can, at 90, you have evaluate, you have generate, defer, and plan. So yeah, it's important, unknown, unimportant. At the same time, this will be, yes, the same thing. So important, unimportant, known, and unknown. So known is here, important there, unimportant is here, and unknown. Things that around the evaluate are the most important things for you to check on. So anything that fall in at this point are the most important thing to check on. There are things that are important and unknown, and there are problems that need to be done better. We have the one that are gonna important, they're already in plan, they're already working on them. Things are unknown and unimportant should be deferred. Unknown and unimportant should be kept aside for things that may help you modify your product features. Okay, so I didn't put that on my slide, but let's talk about, so last class talk about Uber, right? So let me put this in place that next class we're talking more. So while we're talking more about product, we're going through product validation, and we'll talk a little bit about user story. Although I prefer user story to come in after we've done methodologies of product, and we decided to settle on Agile or Scrum. But we'll run through into the user story. So for this last class, talk about Uber, talk about the product vision or what we feel they want according to the vision board and everyone. So you can use that to say, okay, now you have done a customer feedback. You can say, as a customer, you can say, okay, the customer wants a ride to work or to visit early. They also want, I'm trying to remember classes from our last class. They also want a cleanup vehicle, which we agreed that Uber has answered to that pain point. And they want a estimated price. That means I don't want to go to the roadside and start telling Ubana zero. I'm here to have a put on a small thing and a small load I carry. I beg, collect 7.5. I don't want job, but I won't carry cab. No. With Uber, I know my estimated time, and my estimated price. Also have an estimated time. So that means they've answered to my productivity 8 points. So I can also estimate that, give or take, traffic or not, this might be it. And because of Google Map, which are integrated on the Uber map or the Uber app, by the time there is a search somewhere, a traffic search somewhere, I'm being alerted, and my time is being estimated or is gone further. So it's clear and transparent to me that this is not even Uber fault. This is just Nigeria happening to me, the Nigerian happening to us, and I can then estimate my time. So I'm not going to get tacky that Uber not tell me this. I know that okay, something happened alongside the way, right? So estimated time and estimated price. So I know the estimated price based on distance and time given. And these are what the few customer want based on they're trying to change the hailing cab on the roadside to the hub and make it more conditioned of creating a system or ecosystem of this. Now at this point, you can put this in plan, evaluate, and they already have a plan. You already know what they want. Or what you don't know is the customer behavior and attitude towards this. Right? Just a few minutes, please. So what you don't know is the customer attitude and behavior towards this. So what you know, you put it down. What you don't know, what are things you know by the time you do a lot of feedback and all you put it here. I'm going to do a little bit of a check and assignment and create an assumption mapping from it. Next, so like this is just put the color, just talk about the color in place. You can see leap of faith assumption, important, known, unknown, and unimportant. This will be where we'll stop today. Let's take a few questions before we go. And if you have a question, please raise up your hand. You have a question? Okay. Okay. Let's start Phenomena. Phenomena, can you use your mic, please?
Hi, good evening. You gave us an assignment after the first or second class, and I guess that was the assignment that moved us to stage 1. So
Yes.
My question is, like, we didn't get any feedback from the assignment, like, oh well, this is what you did right, or if you did anything wrong. So I don't know if we're supposed to still be expecting feedback on the assignment. And like, if this new one we're going to submit, we're going to get feedback for it. Like that's my question.
For the first assignment, we did a revision in class. I said that everybody's feedback.
Oh,
so with revision we did in class with the first assignment, at least you know what you done wrong and what you don't wrong. I know somebody has to tell the person to redo the assignment.
Okay. So that means when we submit the second one, we're going to do a revision like that again.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. Shall we have a question? You can make it your mic.
Okay, good evening. So I sent you a message on Slack. Okay, it is concerning the last assignment that you gave us, the user effect of Kodecamp. And then you also said that you like do a re-explanation for the user effect of Kodecamp. So I'm just asking again, like, how are we to just to do a revision for that user effect for Kodecamp? That's my question.
But the question wasn't on user effect. The question on life cycle and user. Okay, life cycle and user experience of
Yes. No, is it user effect
so life cycle,
or
that is
user
second
experience?
No,
yes. The second assignment that was given, map out the life cycle, and is it user effect or user experience?
So effect, fine. Experience, okay. Anyone you want to today. So let's talk about. Are you in class today?
What do you say?
Are you in class that day?
Yes. I was in class that day.
So your life cycle of Kodecamp, what has been that program was in growth in the introduction phase in class that day.
Yes.
So as a program manager, map out what the life cycle will be at the point of growth. What will be? That means you're talking about at the point of introduction, you already know how they got their customer now. So you know how they got their users or the students or the employees on board. Now at point of growth, what will it be? At point of maturity, what will it be? How can you manage maturity for the product to be on shelf life? Or what could be the motivation not to kill, or to reboot, or to kill the product? So, and at this point, you are putting user in place. You are putting it in place of the users too. So your user effect is being on. That's the explanation. So now I said the major explanation first. So this answer your question. I don't want to do your assignment for you. So we don't have questions for today. Okay, Chigoze, please use your mic.
Okay, good
We all
evening.
understand association mapping. Sorry, Chigozie. You will understand association mapping because I drop your assignment now. You start telling me you don't understand. Ask question now. Chigozie, I'm listening to you.
I wanted to know what this quadrant is called, and I want to have a better explanation of this unknown. I don't understand how assumptions would be unknown. I don't know. So just if you can just explain this quadrant again and the name of the quadrant. Thank you.
Contract name is association mapping. So this is the contract you use from your association mapping. You got in your assumptions from your customer feedback and everything the customer has sent to you. You're now prioritizing it. So let's do what prioritizing. You're putting this in spaces. Okay, this thing that the customer said, I've done it before. I already know it's already important to me. You put it there. So like we all said, there's an ideation stage before and a design stage and everything. You know why you are coming with this product. You know why, or you understand why the CEO is coming with this product. The market research, computer analysis, and now you're going to the user effect. And you want to validate this product with all of this. So there's a market for this product, yes. The customer, the answer of the customer, yes. You already have idea of what their problem could be. You already have idea of what their questions could be. Because I want you to put that important and known. Okay. So for the ones that are unknown, the ones that are unknown to you, for now the customer is saying it's their problem. They were unknown to you, they were not in check when you were doing when you're doing the product ideology stage and mapping. So now you can put them at the unknown, but you can see that they are important to the validation of students. Does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You too. Do we have any other question? We have 3 more minutes to the end of the class. Any other question? So this says that. So I'm going to give you another assignment. So at the end of the day, that means you be submitted to assignment to move to stage 2. So we'll be dropping a link for this assignment. I'll talk to Michael on that and how to make that better. Do we have another question, suggestion? We have 2 minutes more to the end of the class. Give your mic.
Okay, so sorry, this is kind of like a suggestion, yeah. I kind of like understand better when I am like Jesus, when I'm like following, like seeing the slides and following what's going on. So I don't know if it's possible you can share the slides before the class goes on, because that will like help understand better.
There are 2 ways. I thought of that before. There are 2 ways to that. The first one is some people will say, okay, I already have this slide, and they will come to class. So today's time is a little bit not comfortable for all of us. This is what happened yesterday. I'm so sorry for that.
Sometimes I'm trying to
slide.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you. So the slide is not the slide will not take everything your trainer would say. The slide is just a key point of what your trainer would say. I mean the slide. I tell I'm giving you a slide that you're just having a bullet point. Maybe.
Yes, so I understand that. So for me, yeah, I jot down what I understand from what you're saying on my laptop as well while I am going through the class. So sometimes I'm on my notes trying to make the jottings and then you moved on to the next slide. So I get confused and I'm like, where am I? So if I could have had the slide, I'll be able to say, oh, okay, this is what I missed, that kind of stuff, and be able to, go on.
How about the trend we are currently using, whereby I drop slide after the class? So you could go back to your notes and fill up.
Yes, so that would not mean me having to go through the class all over again. But it's fine, I understand where you're coming from. It's fine, thank you.
So with this, we will come to the end of the class, and we'll have that slide as a slide as we do. At the same time, more detailed assignment to be given to us so that we can create a user survey. And it's to use, most likely we use SurveyMonkey or Google Sheets to use to create our user experience or user interview at the same time create our assumption mapping from what we get to send to us on the channel. So thank you for class today and have a wonderful day. You can log out.